Good evening everyone and welcome to the Hangar Event Centre in Wolverhampton. We're here for a night of professional boxing for BCB Promotions. A stacked card as always. I'm joined by Dan Mole. Dan, brilliant night of action to look forward to at a venue that we both really enjoy being at. What are you looking forward to seeing this evening?
I'm just really happy to be back, Paul. Like you say, it's a wonderful atmosphere. There's no other fights on this evening in the UK, so hopefully our streams will be hit by everybody. I'm looking forward to seeing all the guys. Probably mostly Ryan Cottrell, seeing his debut, and I always enjoy watching Jermaine Osbourne Edwards. He brings a real character to the ring. He's got wonderful supporters, but to be honest, the whole card's looking really good. I'm really pleased to be back here, ready for the show.
Ryan's obviously got a fantastic amateur background and he'll be looking to make a big statement in his debut fight tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we're getting more and more debutants now, with COVID being almost on the way out now. Those lads who were going to turn over a couple of years ago, they're now able to. As you say, Ryan's got a stellar amateur career behind him. Another one out of Richie Carter's really successful Wolverhampton Boxing Club. So, yeah, just really looking forward to seeing Ryan. He's in there with Dave Preston tonight. Possibly a chance of a KO this evening. Fans always like to see it. Not doing any disservice to Dave Preston. He's a tough man, but I hear that Ryan's had a really good camp, and I know he can bang.
Obviously Jermaine, we've seen a couple of times out. He brings a big following, a lot of noise. He's certainly a big character. Safe to say he's in with a very different test this evening than what he was in last time, in with a very experienced Fonz Alexander. What do you think Jermaine's got to do this evening?
He's just got to stick to his game, stick to whatever he's been taught with Richie Carter, because it's done him really well so far. He's got to remember that he's not going to douse everybody. So whereas last time he got his opponent out very early, I don't think he's going to do that to Fonz Alexander. Like you say, a completely different opponent. He's just got to be patient. He's got to get back to his boxing and just not think that he's invincible, having knocked somebody out last time out. I'm sure he won't. He's a level-headed guy. He's got a really good trainer in Richie Carter, but that's probably the one worry, that he goes in there thinking, oh, this programme's easy, I can bang everybody out, because trust me, Fonz Alexander does not get banged out.
He certainly doesn't. Obviously good to see Bradley Thompson back in action tonight, in with Jack Dwyer. Quite a lot of hype around Bradley. Like I said, certainly he's in a weight division where he knows he's going to get some good fights, and it's good to see him back out this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. He's in a weight division where he'll get some good fights, and he's in a weight division where he can be propelled a lot quicker than some of the heavier weights. So speaking to his brother Liam Davis, who's an English champion in his own right, one of our brightest stars, he bangs the drum about him being the best boxer to come out of Telford. And as I said on our podcast, if Liam's saying that about Bradley, then Bradley's going to be something special, because I know that Liam Davis is someone special.
We're going to see Vicky Wilkinson out again, flying the flag for women's boxing. There's been plenty of women's boxing on these BCB shows. Really interesting story, Vicky, taking up boxing so late in her life, really, in her career. Be good to see her back out this evening against another experienced girl.
Yeah, absolutely. She's 38, possibly 39, Vicky now. I think you can only be an amateur until you're 40 anyway, so she probably just wants a couple more years in the pro game. She's got to move quickly. Whatever she wants to do, she's got to do it quick. She's out at Darlaston Boxing Club, trained by the likes of Tony Marshall, a really good boxing guy. But the positive with female boxing is that a bit like the lighter weights in the male game, you can move forward quickly. So if she can get a couple of wins under her belt, move forward, there could be some big fights out there for Vicky Wilkinson.
And just rounding out the card, then obviously we've got Andy Owen back in action against a very familiar name in Kieran Thomas, and also Ollie Cooper taking on Josh Cook. Ollie Cooper's got that really long, languid style. I think we've been impressed with him when we saw him out previously. Looking forward to seeing both those guys.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing Ollie Cooper and Andy Owen for different reasons. Looking forward to seeing Ollie Cooper because he reminds me of the guy who's doing the commentary with you this evening, Ryan Woolridge. They're similar in terms of their build and stature. He uses that to good effect. So it'd be good to see Ollie in action again. It's great to see Andy Owen here at the Hangar. We speak about people being massive Wolverhampton Wanderers fans. I don't think they come much bigger than Andy Owen. He's a proper Wolves lad, proper Wolves fan. I think this is his first time at the Hangar. He's fought at Walsall Football Club on a couple of occasions. A little bit more checkered record than his counterparts from Wolverhampton Boxing Club. He's 34. Again, he's wants to move forward. But I think, speaking for Andy, he just comes across as a real boxing man, and he's just wants to get in there, build his record, and just see where it takes him. He's always in the gym, he's always working with Richie Carter, helps out with the amateurs. We were joking upstairs in the changing rooms that normally he'd be wrapping the hands and he'd be like padding the guys up and he'd be doing his seconds, so he's not going to be able to do that tonight. He's got to concentrate on his boxing, but really looking forward to seeing Andy in action as well.
Absolutely, so a packed night of action. We go live for our first fight very shortly, 7 p.m. As always, do send in your tweets, your comments. We've got obviously myself and Ryan on commentary, so do fire those in and enjoy the show. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Paul.
Welcome to the Hangar Events Centre in Wolverhampton. Thank you everyone who's joined the live stream on YouTube and on Facebook. I'm joined tonight by Ryan Woolridge. Ryan, great to have you on with us. Looking forward to a packed night of action.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're in for a good night of boxing.
First fight coming up very shortly. Ollie Cooper is in with Josh Cook. Both men are in the ring now. Ollie Cooper, we talked about it in the intro. He's got that tall, long, languid style. Throws his punches in really nice combinations. Looking forward to getting a bit more experience in the ring tonight. Our main event this evening sees Jermaine Osbourne Edwards back out against Fonz Alexander. We've also got the likes of Matthew Craddock, Ryan Cottrell making his professional debut, as well as Vicky Wilkinson and Andy Owen, Bradley Thompson, all in action. So plenty of boxing with us this evening. As I say, fire any questions or comments into myself and Ryan. Just drop it in the comments box on Facebook or on YouTube and we'll pick those up. And live for our first fight. And Ryan, Ollie in that southpaw style, as I say, he's got very long limbs, long arms, long legs, and he certainly looks to use that as an advantage against a smaller opponent.
Yeah, I think Ollie being the taller out of the two, he's I've done a lot of sparring with Ollie. He's a good lad. He's very rangy, very awkward, and he hits you when when you'd least expect it. I think with Ollie, he's got to showcase what he can do, as opposed to sitting back. I think he needs to come forward and push on to Josh.
Decent little left hook inside there from Ollie, as I say, fighting out that southpaw stance. The taller man, and starting quite confidently there, holding his hands quite low.
Yeah, I think the worst thing for Josh as well is to put himself into a shell, because once Ollie sees that, he'll definitely pounce all over it. So I think Josh needs to keep himself in the game.
These 4-round fights like it's about pacing, isn't it? Again, it's certainly not Ollie's first one, but something he'll grow into. He can't throw everything into that first round.
Yeah, definitely. You've got to relax and keep everything at bay. When you got the crowd, it's just so easy to get carried away.
That crowd slowly filling up here this evening. Plenty of support in here for Ollie Cooper. Lands a good combination on the ropes, but some decent shots getting through. That left hand looks pretty impressive and powerful early on. And the two left hands, and Josh really needs to cover up a little bit better here.
I think after them big flurries, you need to tap down to the body.
I just followed him. Sorry, I didn't know. I didn't know, sorry.
Someone getting telling off by the security guard there, if that got picked up on the stream. Don't mess about with the security at a boxing event, they will always win. It's nice to see Ollie setting back on that jab. Again, fighting in a southpaw position, the jab is a really important weapon, and it's so easy to forget about it and just look for those power punches.
Yeah, I think Craddock's got a slight cut above the eye. Can't quite see.
Yeah, it's difficult from our angle there. But Ollie's just giving him another look again, just landing in that left hand. Maybe a little bit guilty going head hunting there. He probably should look to switch to the body a little bit.
I think that's what Ollie needs to do now. Is look to the body and blow it a bit out of him.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think there's a bit of damage around that eye of Josh Cook. The corner will go to work on that. So a huge weekend of boxing. Obviously we've got the massive Amir Khan Kell Brook fight on tomorrow night. I'm sure plenty of you tuning in for this one on that one on pay-per-view. This stream brought to you not for free, so a nice little warm-up for tomorrow evening's action.
Errol.
Second round of this one, Ollie Cooper straight off his seat, very very quick start, and a good right hand gets through early. It's been impressive stuff from Cooper. Another right hand. And Cook doing the wise thing, tying him up. Another huge right hand, stumbles Cook. Cooper jumps all over him. Flashy combination against the ropes.
Yeah, it was good work. I think Ollie's cramping his work a bit. I think that step back and evaluate what he's going to do, and then
I think there's a difficulty, isn't there, when you think you've hurt your opponent, when in that case it's probably more of a stumble, and your instinct must be to jump on, but it's about getting yourself that space, isn't it?
Yeah, trying to control it. I imagine some of the more experienced lads, like Tyler, they know how to deal with it a bit better. But us all learning, it's one of them. You're learning on the job. Ollie's got these 4 rounds. He seems to be a lot more alert than last time, doing more work. And I find that's something he's worked on and sorted out.
Yeah, certainly a busier start than in his previous fight, and he looks to have come with a slightly more aggressive style.
Yeah, I think the middleweight's definitely suiting him, because he was trying to campaign at super welter. But I mean, look at the size of him. He's never gonna. I don't think he'd struggle to make 11 stone. So
yeah, it's long term, isn't it? As well, you can get yourself down to a weight, but at what point will you be competing for sort of the area titles and international titles? It's got to be at a weight you're comfortable at, and he certainly looks stronger in there this evening.
He does, yeah. Being 6'4", it's very rare you have somebody that big making that weight.
Defensively to the body, Cook's been quite good and everything. Every time he takes a punch, he just come back with a little flurry, just show the referee that he is still very much active and involved. But he has been shipping a few shots to the head. Cooper a little bit guilty of loading up maybe on those shots, not using his jab as he was early in that first round.
Yeah, definitely. Bit low there from Craddock.
Yeah. Definitely a bit of a low punch. It's on the blind side of the referee.
Looks like Josh is starting to come into it slightly though, which is good.
Yeah, that's what you want, because a lot of these fights, obviously, sometimes you need someone thrown back at you, don't you, to give you those sort of counter-punching opportunities. If you're just fighting someone in their shell, it must be very difficult.
Yeah, especially Ollie. Like I say, he's one of the awkwardest lads I've ever been in a ring with. He likes to keep it at his pace, at his distance. And I think if I was Josh, what I'd be looking to do is try and force it a bit more. Now, obviously, he's got to sit back and not get caught by Ollie. But I think pushing forward would be his best way of attack.
as I said earlier, plenty of action still to come this evening. This is the first of several fights. Looking forward to seeing Bradley Thompson, who's in next. A man who was his brother Liam Davis described as the best fighter to come out of their city, and that's some compliment coming from that man. He's fighting himself at English title level.
Yeah, I think both Liam and Brad, they're going to be, Liam already, but more so Brad. I think it could be something definitely going to be special from Telford area.
In Cooper's first 2 fights, he hasn't dropped around, winning both 40-36, 40-36. I think it's probably fair to say that he's took the opening 2 rounds of this one. And again, you can tell with Ollie, he boxed well as an amateur, obviously competing at the youth championships, and you can certainly see that he's got a well-schooled style.
Yeah, Ollie was definitely he was a great amateur, Ollie was. I think more so than a pro for me. We fought in the amateurs a few years back, and Ollie won on decision, but he was a very good amateur.
Yeah. Quite a start to this round. Again, Cooper looking for more single shots. Referee gives him a bit of a warning for a punch just on the belt line. Decent right hook landing there. Again, right hook to the body, just falling a little bit short. And there's not an awful lot of those punches coming back from Josh Cook. They're just more sort of pouring shots, aren't they, just to give Ollie something to think about.
Yeah, I think Ollie could definitely hurt him if he picked his shots to the body a bit better.
Just to answer Grant Jones's comment on the Facebook stream, that Bradley Thompson will be in very shortly. He's our next fight in with Jack Dwyer. So just after this one, he'll be up in next. Better defensive work this round, hasn't it been, from Cook, and Ollie's work rate slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, he seems to be moving more, Cook does. Yeah, Ollie's step back, I think, a bit of blood from the nose of Ollie, I think.
Yeah, it was unusual there. He took a step back and looks a little bit uncomfortable there now. And again, he started the fight with his hands low, and he's starting in a slightly more conventional stance now, keeping that left hand up high. Whereas Cook is really starting to retreat now, a little bit into his shell. But lands a good right hand to end the round.
That was definitely better from Cook. I thought Ollie sat back a bit too much there.
So Ryan, it'd be wrong not to talk about the big fight tomorrow night, Amir Khan, Kell Brook. Everyone's got an opinion. How do you see it going?
For me, I think it's battle of the age. I think whoever's got the most left in the tank. I'm more of a Brook fan than as opposed to Khan, so I'm fancying Brook. But again, I think he's been more active than Khan. I know you see a lot more of him on social media in the gym and that, so I've got to go with Brook, but I don't know. I've heard Khan's still fast, and I think it will be good.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting because it's one of those fights I've genuinely no idea. I spoke to 20 different people here tonight, and everyone's got a different opinion on it. And it's just a case of if Khan will start very quick as he can. He's got quite a few first-round stoppages, or whether Brook will get to him. But it should be maybe 5 or 6 years too late. But I'm just glad it's happening.
Yeah. Who have you got, Paul? Who do you think's going to win it?
In my head, I'm saying Brook inside 6. I think that Khan, that's where most of Khan's stoppage losses have come, around 4, round 6. And I think that if Brook survives the early onslaught, as I say, Khan has got those sort of blitz wins against Dimitri Salita, and when he fought on Sky Sports recently, in a fight fairly recently, he got that first round win. But if Brook can avoid that, and I think he can, I think his size and his strength will probably just be a bit too much for Khan. I also think that the build up to it's been quite good fun. I think it matters more to Kel than it does to Amir. I know that shouldn't really mean anything, but I think it'll hurt Kel a lot more to lose, and I think he'll put it all on the line.
Yeah, it's definitely a fight that should have happened back in the day, I think.
Back to the action in the ring here. And again, Ollie Cooper starting strong in that 4th round. Not a lot of clean punches landing. Cooper just showing off his defensive work there, but he takes a small left jab. Not the most textbook punches he'll probably ever throw there, but a couple of shots got through.
I find Josh is quite sneaky.
Cooper just stalking him on the ropes there again, using his jab to work his way in.
See again there, good cheeky jab Josh has, I like that.
Yeah, he's catching Ollie in when he comes in, but still dominating much of the round. Certainly the better, cleaner work coming from Ollie Cooper. But
yeah, definitely. I think Ollie's well on top now.
So BCB's own MJ Hall is in action tomorrow night on that big Sky card. It's good to have a bit of BCB flavour on the show.
Yeah, MJ's a true warrior. I think he's as hard as they come, to be honest.
Mr. Joe Skundrich is coming. Who's Bradley Thompson fighting? He was in with Jack Dwyer this evening. That fight is coming up very shortly. Just waiting for the scores on that opening bout. I think, Ryan, anything other than a 40 points to 36 win for Ollie Cooper would be a bit of a surprise, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's got that quite comfortable. I thought Josh had some good work. Yeah, I thought Josh had some good work. Definitely coming to it, particularly in the 3rd and the 4th. But yeah, it's clear win for Ollie.
Yeah, good one out there for Ollie Cooper. As I say, very young man, only 21 years of age from Craddock. It'd be interesting to see how his professional journey carries on.
I could potentially see Ollie moving up to super as he grows older.
Yeah, 40 points to 36. Ollie Cooper takes that one, moves on to 3-0. Another decent showing from Ollie against a very game Josh Cook. Good fight to get us underway.
Ollie, congratulations, made yourself to 3-0. How are you feeling?
Alright, mate, yeah. Different style of opponent, yeah, again. You know what I mean? I thought, in the first round, I thought I was going to get him out of there. But tough bloke, fair play team, he stuck it out and went the distance, so all good, mate, yeah, all good.
I thought in the first round and the second round there were times there where that left hook, right hook seemed to just really rock him, but like you say, credit to these guys, they're teak tough, aren't they?
Exactly. I said to Rich in the corner, I was saying to him, why am I trying to knock him out, do you know what I mean? Because these blokes, even saying to my mates, these blokes are some of the hardest blokes in boxing, you know what I mean? These are your tests, these are the first 5 or 6 bouts, because they're hard blokes, they're hard to get out of there. And I even said to my coach, Rich, why am I trying to knock him out? Just box and do what I've done in the gym for the past 6-7 weeks, you know what I mean? So,
and I think you could see that as well. There was a real composure about you this time that you may not have seen in your first 2 fights because you're learning, and that's what this stage of your career is all about.
That's it. I still tell myself week in, week out, I'm still trying to find my feet in the pro game. It's so different to the amateurs, it's unbelievable. So, like I said, I'm still learning the craft. I'm still learning every fight I have. So, like I said, I say it every interview, I'll watch it back and I'll build from there. So, yeah.
Ollie, top man, well done tonight.
Second fight in the evening about to be underway. Jack Dwyer making his walk to the ring, in with Bradley Thompson. Know plenty of people in the comments looking forward to seeing Bradley in action. A really good prospect, Bradley, one that we've had our eyes on for a little while. You've seen Stacey Jackson, Tracy Page, Jason Turner all sending your comments out. Hope you're all enjoying the action at home. Ryan Bradley, 2-0, it's his 3rd professional bout. He's been in some interesting opportunities with his fights so far in his career. He's fought outside in the car park and during the lockdown boxing, and also had that last minute cancellation of his opponent fighting out in Warsaw. So you're probably looking forward to a nice straightforward evening in an indoor venue with an opponent that's showing up tonight.
Yeah, I think it is. I know another fight as well. He's meant to fight on the same card as my debut, and I think I'm sure he fell off in the swim baths as well, and I know he's had some bad luck along the way, but he seems to be happy in there tonight. He's looking up for it, so I think we should see a good Brad Thompson tonight.
Yeah, we touched upon it earlier. He's from a real fighting family. His brother Liam Davis, he's also the son of Tristan Davis, the former Midlands champion, who's now his coach. So I bet they had some interesting scraps as brothers growing up.
Yeah, I think they're really close. I don't think it's the usual brotherly love.
Yeah, so Thompson, a 3-time national champion, he boxed for England at junior and youth level, winning a silver medal at the 2017 Junior Three Nations tournament, as well as England junior titles for 2 consecutive years. So a really good amateur pedigree. We talked earlier about being in the right sort of weight division where the opportunities will be there. But he's in with a taller fighter tonight in Jack Dwyer.
Yeah, I saw Jack at the weigh-in, and that was something that stood out. I thought he looked a lot bigger compared to Brad. But I think Brad's going to have a good range of height. I mean, I think I remember him fighting Showy, who's
probably the smallest professional boxer in the country, isn't he, Showy? He's so elusive and so quick.
I think it was Showy before. Was it Showy?
I don't think he was in with him, but yeah, I know he was on the show last time.
I know Sim's bar regular, and he's just like the difference between like this lad and Showy. It's a big difference. But I think Brad, he's got that pedigree, can adapt to anything that comes.
Yeah. Bradley in the black shorts with the gold trim, Dwyer in the rather fetching looking fluorescent pink shorts. Decent start from Jack, to be fair, isn't it? Really, he's not talking anything too clean.
Yeah, I was going to say Jack seems to be definitely here to come through.
Yeah, he's looking to control the centre of the ring, but I mean Bradley will be used to that again. He's been in with all sorts of different opponents at amateur level. I don't think boxing off the back foot will be anything new to him.
I think Brad's style looks best on the back foot personally. Still making them angles, slipping.
Yeah, Dwyer missing wildly there with a couple of big shots, and Bradley catches him there with a nice straight left hand. Shortly left hand to the body, just misses, and Dwyer again with a wild overhand right. Nice little combination of shots there from Bradley.
I know with Brad as well in particular, because of his weight, I think he's going to be hard to match, and I think you'll find Brad fighting for titles a lot earlier than a lot of other young boxers. I think already in the rankings he's fairly high up.
Yeah, again, there aren't that many professional boxers in that division in the UK, and once you get a couple of wins together, you certainly will get yourself in that ranked position. Yeah, looking very elusive there, Bradley again with a huge left hand from Dwyer. I mean, to be fair to Dwyer, he's come out swinging, and if one of those punches connects, it may well do a bit of damage, but very good defensive work from Bradley early on. Plenty of support for Bradley in the comments. It's great to have you all joining us this evening. Also see Richard Webb joining the chat, who I know well from my days at Lichfield City Football Club, so great to have Richard on board with us. Thanks for tuning in. Good start to the round from Bradley, a jab and a straight left hand landing clean. And he's looking to hold the centre of the ring a little bit more and impose his style early on. You imagine that's probably what the instructions he was getting from Errol in the corner. Never want to mince his words, Errol Johnson. Quiet man outside the ring, but when he's in the corner, he's anything but, isn't he, Ryan?
Yeah, to be fair, I really had him in the corner close. I've had him in the corner, but it's been all left to Pete to do the talking. But I know I've heard he comes out of his shell. It's hard to get a word out of him outside the ring, I've heard.
It's good movement, isn't there, from Bradley? Just getting in that little right hook to the body and then just moving off, and he moves well left and right. He's definitely a very, very well scored boxer. And again, you can see Dwyer looking to load up that right hand, but he's being a little bit more cautious. That looked a little bit low from our angle, but referee Sean Messer deemed it fine. And again, that's beautiful work, isn't it, from Bradley?
Yeah. He's boxing really well to the body as well. I think Jack's tall. I think going to expose himself, so I think he's playing it the best way and going downstairs.
Yeah, 2 lovely body shots landed in there, as well as really good defensive movement there from Bradley. And Jack's starting to look a little bit out of ideas early on in this one. Again, he's following him down and he's looking to close that gap, but he's getting really out techniqued in there right now.
Yeah, Brad's starting to break him down now. To be fair, I don't expect this for Jack to bring what he has.
It's been good so far, good action in this one. Dwyer now starting to hold a much higher defence, isn't he? I think he has walked onto 1 or 2 big shots so far, and I think a little bit of that early aggression's been sapped away from him as he takes another right hook to the body. He's just got to sap the energy out of Jack. Just lovely straight left hand. And the right hook to the body from Bradley Thompson. His shot percentage land wide, we don't have the numbers ringside, but it must be very, very high this round.
I would say he's being accurate, any Brad.
Yeah. A little bit of a nod there, to be fair, from Jack to Bradley as he went back to his corner. Round 3 of this one scheduled for 4. Again, Bradley Thompson will have took the first 2 rounds on referee Sean Mess's card almost certainly. But Jack Dwyer's been a good opponent, been a live opponent, but he's starting to get broken down a little bit now by Bradley, who's looking very, very accurate, Ryan.
Yeah, I think Jack's trying to throttle back a bit now. I think he's done what he can. I think he's going to sit back now. I think he's starting to tire. Brad's starting to come on a lot stronger now. Starting to see a bit more power from him as well, which is good.
Yeah, starting to sit down in his shots. Jack kind of beckoning him on a little bit there, but I don't think Bradley will be drawn into a silly scrap. He's going to use his technique, use his boxing skills. And again, lovely 3-punch combination there, and Dwyer misses well. This is really nice stuff from Bradley Thompson. To be fair to Dwyer, he's still sticking at it.
Yeah, Jack's still there, his hands down, but you know he's still flicking that jab, keeping him at bay. But I think Brad's just too elusive and he keeps getting in.
Those straight left hands to the body from Bradley will be sapping quite a lot of energy out of Jack, but he's still loading up that right hand, and he looks to have quite a bit of pop behind it, so Bradley's still got to be careful. But again, he's doing that move, isn't it, Ryan, when he's just stepping to the right hand side and spinning his man. It's one for the purist, that, but it's a really nice movement.
Yeah, he's just gone before he's through it, and
let us know in the comments how you're seeing this one. Again, plenty of support for Brad in the comments, and let us know how you see the fight so far. touch on it again. Pace has slowed, as to be expected in this round, Ryan.
Yeah, I think Brad just lost his concentration slightly there. Took a couple of little shots, but no, yeah, I think he's back on it again now, slipping in.
Third round of that one in the books, coming up fourth and final round. As I said, all the fights tonight scheduled 4 rounds, apart from Matthew Craddock, who's in with Steve McGuire over 6. Final round of this one. Bradley 3 rounds up, clearly on the card. Starts with a nice left hand to get the fourth underway. Ryan, what do you think he's got to do the next 3 minutes now? Obviously the win is there for him and he knows that, but does he try and push for a stoppage or a knockdown, or does he just stick with his boxing skills and see this one out?
I think personally I think I'd just look to get through the round. Jack's still there and he seems to carry on coming. He's an hard kid, but yeah, definitely I'd just sit back, do what he's doing, keep staying elusive, ducking, diving, pop shotting, keeping out the way. I think Brad just boxed perfect. Like I say, a couple of slight mistakes, but you know, despite being where he is, Brad, he's still going to learn, even with the amateur career he's had. And I think Jack's going to bring something different that a lot of opponents at this level you won't get.
Colin Woodfield in the comments saying Bradley winning this outright, the best boxer out of Telford in a very long time. Obviously Telford produced the great Richie Woodall, as well as Liam Davis, who's sort of flying the flag for the town at the moment. I'm sure it is a town. If it is a city, I apologise to all those tuning in from Telford, but I think it's a town. Geography was never the strong point. Not a lot happening this round. Bradley just picking his shots quite nicely on 1s and 2s. As I say, Jack looking to hold a bit more of a defensive stance in this one.
Yeah, he's starting to slow down now. I think if I was Brad, I could see him exchanging words with him as well. Probably trying to just get in Brad's head.
Yeah, Jack gave him a little nod there, and after missing the 3-punch combination. Thank you to Tracy Page for confirming that it is a town. I appreciate that. I've had Bradley on the podcast a couple of times, and as I say, certainly a prospect that I know that BCB see a lot of hope, a lot of future in his ability. Jack Dwyer again, just trying to walk him on there again. I'm not quite sure what that's going to achieve, and Bradley responds by landing a nice combination, and Jack misses wildly, and that's the end of that one. Really enjoyable fight, that, to be fair. I think better than some expected. Jack, again, it's all down to the opponents so often, isn't it? You know, if they come to give it a go, as Jack did, it certainly brought the best out of Bradley this evening.
Yeah, it did. Honestly, to be fair, I weren't expecting a performance like that from Jack. Well, I thought Brad dealt with it well and did what he had to do. and I think he won comfortably.
Boxed really nicely in there tonight. I think he will take every round on the card. But again, after a bit of a stop-start career, it'd be good to see Bradley get out again as quickly as possible. And you know, the chance of fighting for the English and British, Commonwealth and European at that weight class is there if he can just keep himself busy. Obviously, it's important for his fans to come out and keep supporting. And I'm sure those opportunities will come for him in time. And I say he's still a young man. Looking forward to seeing what he's going to show us in the future. Bradley takes it 40 points to 36. Again, dominant fight, won every round, and a dominant yet a good competitive showing for him. Looking forward to seeing him catch up with Dan in a moment. We'll be speaking to him just very shortly, so for those tuning in to see Brad, he will be being interviewed ringside in just a minute.
Jack, hard lines, really good fight though. How do you feel about that?
Could have went better.
In terms of you coming here though, complete unknown against somebody of the calibre of Bradley Thompson, you must be pleased with the way you performed this evening.
No.
Why?
I can beat him.
What makes you think you can beat him?
I know I can.
In terms of the style of the fight though, you was the aggressor, but he showed a good shot selection. His footwork was good. He slipped and he moved.
Yeah, definitely, but I'm stronger. So we weren't loading up on my shots. I could have caught him a lot more.
Jack, well done tonight. Top man. Hello, mate. Bradley, congratulations. Another win, but a different type of performance this evening. You pleased?
Yeah, very pleased. Tough opponent, to be honest. Didn't stop coming.
Tell me about it. He was tough to interview, to be honest with you, mate. I've just spoken to him. He's convinced that he can beat you. What do you think about that?
No chance. No chance.
He was a different opponent, though. He was aggressive. He stood in front of you, and you really had to show that array of shot selection that you've got, and that little bit of quality that you've got that he hasn't.
Yeah, that's it. Like you say, yeah, he just tough. Just kept coming, but he come in heavy as well yesterday. So he was heavy before we started.
But you must be pleased that you've got through a completely different kind of test than the ones you've faced so far.
Yeah, like I say, it's the toughest fight to date, so I'm happy with the performance, definitely.
But you're not having it easy in the pro game. You hurt your shoulder last time, then you fight an unknown who comes overweight. It's not as easy as it looks, the pro game, is it?
Definitely not, mate. So he was very tough, but I think skills paid the bills tonight.
Absolutely, a class performance tonight, Brad. Well done.
Thank you, Dan. Cheers, mate.
Fight up shortly. Andy Owen just making his way to the ring now against Kieran Thomas. Kieran, a very popular fighter. He's You're not meant to have favourites, but he's the best one in the WhatsApp chat. Good to see him back out this evening. A man who obviously you shared a ring with.
Yeah, like you say, popular in the chat. He's known for his love of mayonnaise, as we all know. I think he has it with pretty much everything.
Yeah, I think guys watching at home imagine that these fighters in the great condition that they're in are eating a very healthy, balanced meal before the fight, but Kieran often pushes those limits, doesn't he, after the weigh-in?
Yeah, I think this morning it was bacon and cheese turnovers with beans, and I'm sure some mayonnaise is added again.
I'm sure those watching at home will feel a little bit better about themselves now, knowing that someone that looks like Kieran can down that kind of meal before taking on a 4-rounder against a good fighter in Andy Owen.
Yeah, Andy's definitely gonna give Kieran a run for his money again, I think. Depends which Kieran turns up.
Andy obviously battling back from an injury, but he said he's fully fit and ready for this one. 34 years old now, and got back to winning ways after completing 4 rounds for the first time. Also saw him go down at super middleweight, where he said he plans to campaign going forward after initially starting out as a light heavyweight. I think a lot of the guys, it takes them a little bit of time to get comfortable in knowing what's the right division to be in. And he won his last fight 40 points to 36 in the same venue where he was beaten back in September. So much better experience for him.
Yeah, I think he's been doing a bit of sparring with Anthony Fowler as well, and some good names. So that should shout tonight.
I mean, the fight with Norbert Zuccheras, no one saw that coming, but very little was known about Norbert, and he looked a very impressive fighter, stopping Andy in the second round. But two victories, 1 loss on his record, and his 4th fight, which you say, he's had that little bit of a delay, but good to see him back out here this evening.
Yeah, I don't think you can look too far into that defeat, really. Anyone's liable to get tagged very easy.
It can certainly happen. Sometimes when these guys come from the continent as well, you don't quite know what you're getting yourself in for, and as I say, he took a big shot and he didn't recover from it, but he lives to fight another day. And again, Kieran, who's had a decent amount of fights himself, knows how to survive. He's defensively very good, and I think it'll be a challenge of Andy if he can try and pick the openings tonight and try and impose his power on Kieran. But
yeah, again, Kieran had a couple of stoppages as well. I think they weren't meant to happen, but he seemed to have hurt them both. He's meant to have the return with the one lad, I think, but I don't think that went through.
Yeah, Andy's obviously been boxed in the camp under Richie Carter. Richie Carter's growing gym in Wolverhampton. He's got a number of fighters now kind of in the stable, in the gym. If he's not in the corner for them, there's a lot of them that are still working out of his setup. So great to see the good work that Rich is putting in. Andy leading with his arm a little bit, and takes a warning from referee Sean Messer.
Yeah, I think Kieran needs to stop hugging him as well.
Yeah, Kieran doing his best professional tricks to slow the action down there, and he takes a little right hand. And again, looking to hold, and
yeah, Kieran loves giving people cuddles during the fight.
And he's getting a bit of telling off there, because it looked to me again difficult from our angle that he kind of not led him with his head, but it was a bit of an unnatural movement there, and referee Sean Messer certainly doesn't mess about and gives him a brief telling off. I think Kieran,
that's better from Kieran, using the jab more.
Yeah.
I think Andy needs that bit more room to work.
Yeah. And he's got to be patient again. We say that word quite a lot, don't we, about these guys?
Yeah.
They've got to show patience in a fight like this, and just look for those openings when they appear.
Yeah, even though it's only 4 rounds, you still got to get everything right and not rushy.
Quiet opener, and and I think that Andy Owen obviously will take that. He landed the better punches.
Yeah.
Kieran full of energy, full of effort, standing between rounds until eventually told to sit down. So thank you for those who are joining us this evening, those watching on Facebook or on YouTube. Again, thank you for joining us. Get your comments in. Obviously a lot of support earlier from Bradley Thompson. Vicky Wilkinson will be up next. She's in with Bianna over 4 2-minute rounds, as well as the professional debut of Ryan Cottrell. Really looking forward to seeing that one. He takes on Dave Preston. Matthew Craddock takes on Steve McGuire over 6. And the main event sees Jermaine Osbourne Edwards taking on the very, very experienced Fonz Alexander over 4. So still plenty of action to come this evening. All free. Facebook, YouTube. And as I say, I'm on commentary tonight with Ryan. I'll drop your comments into myself and Ryan, any shout outs you want to give, or just let us know what you think of the action so far.
It's a bit better from the start off with Kieran, but back to the cuddling.
I feel I'll have to balance it out tonight by saying it's experienced work from Kieran, but cuddling is probably the more accurate description.
Yeah. That was a wind up after we fought together.
Yeah, he's certainly looking to hold, but again he's landing them little right hands inside. Again, they're not really big scoring punches, but it's giving Andy something to think about. Andy's holding a very, very tight guard. Do you think that could be a little bit of a hangover from that stoppage loss, that he's probably a little bit more wary of what might come back at him?
Yeah, I think definitely with Kieran as well, you need to be wary. I mean, he was a bit heavier than me, but Kieran can definitely punch, and so can Andy, so they've both got to remain tight.
It's just the 6 amateur bouts for Andy Owen, but he did win 5 of those 6. And as I say, he's overcome difficulties of a knee injury, but and as he said himself, he's had some highs and lows in his career. But there's still plenty of time for him to progress.
I think Andy's finding his range a bit better now. He was crowding his work a bit now. I think he's had a step back and realised.
Yeah, nice mixing up with that left hand there as he went upstairs.
That bit of head movement as well that he's adapted in.
Yeah, so better work there from Andy. Again, not rushing his shots, definitely taking his time. Kieran
That's solid jab.
Yeah, walked onto that jab there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Good right hand there from Andy. This has definitely been better work from him, you have to say. He's picking those shots. They are single shots, Ryan, but he is picking them nicely.
Yeah, the solid shots as well. You can see him, Kieran sitting back, and I don't think he wants that. Again, hugging as well, so I think they could be hurting him slightly.
Yeah, Kieran just slowing that action down. Samantha Robinson in the comments, commenting on Andy Owen's shorts made by Blink for the ring, and do look very nice. Ryan, I suppose you shouldn't go amiss without talking a little bit about yourself. Talk about where you are in your career at the moment and when we're hoping to see you back out again.
Yeah, I'm back at end of March. It's a new venue. I think Errol has had shows there before. It's the Willhouse in Willenhall. 27th of March, so Mother's Day on a Sunday, which, you know, isn't really ideal in terms of ticket selling, but I think we'll manage to sort that.
Yeah. What mum doesn't want to go and watch a night of professional boxing on Mother's Day? I think it's going to take some aggressive sales tactics for that one, but
yeah, it will drop me in the deep end, but hopefully I'll prevail. Yeah, obviously I fought Kieran in my first fight, and then my second fight I managed to jump on Liam Davis's title fight and Danny Ball at the NIA, with where I fought Paul Cummins, and yeah, that went well. I think it was the first I managed to put him down, but Paul's durable, man, so I just wanted to do what I did, get the win and carry on getting the experience.
Yeah, Paul, very good fighter, someone we've seen plenty of in the last year or so, and he certainly provides a good stern test.
Yeah, he does.
Back to the action in the ring. Again, a fair bit of punch has been thrown, but nothing really particularly landing clear for either man. Apologies for another picked up as they walk past. There's a little bit more interference from the security guards.
It's all happening.
Nice uppercut inside there from Andy. Again, he's doing quite well, to be fair, isn't he, Ryan? But when he's got him cornered like that, he is getting his shots off, and Kieran's, as elusive as Kieran is, he's finding it more difficult to get himself off the ropes, and Andy's got him in that position.
Yeah, and Andy's good on the inside. He works well. I've inspired him as well. He's very strong. He's got good uppercuts as well, Andy has.
Yeah, another right hand over the top then just pops Kieran's head back, but and again, mixing well, head to the body. Better work, probably I think Owen's best round so far.
Yeah, his inside work's been really good this round. Kieran seems to have gone back into a shell again.
For those sticking with us to the main event, you'll certainly enjoy Jermaine Osbourne Edwards' ring entrance. He's a hell of a character, Jermaine. I'm looking forward to seeing him back. He always brings a lot of entertainment. His last fight, a first round blowout victory. As I say, he's in with a very different sort of opponent tonight.
Yeah, Fonz Alexander. I think I remember him fighting Troy Coleman quite a while back.
Fonz has been in with everyone and anyone in the Midlands and fights regularly across the UK.
I remember him fighting Ollie Cooper as well. Owen being too much, but still Fonz, he can turn it on when he wants to. So it depends who turns up tonight.
Andy loaded up there with a big uppercut, which just falls a little bit short. And starting with a quicker pace this round, looking to chase Kieran across the ring.
Yeah.
Again, referee Sean Messer giving him another bit of a telling off there. And I think if Sean tells you off, you do pay attention.
Yeah, and I had Sean ref one of my fights, yeah. But I've heard he's one to watch out for.
Kieran again looking to tie up. Is this Andy knowing, obviously again the next couple of minutes, he knows he's not going to put him down or stop him? Is it just about letting his hands go a little bit more now and just trying to put the exclamation point on the victory?
Yeah, I think the best thing for Andy is just go through the gears a bit more and see what he can do. it might come, you never know. Kieran's looking tired down there, so I think if Andy's going to get anything across, it'll be in the next minute or so.
For those joining us late, Andy's in the black shorts with the gold trim, Kieran in the white shorts with the black. As I say, they're both men looking a little bit tired now.
Bit better from Kieran.
Yeah, letting his hands go a little bit more. How do you think Andy will rate his performance this evening? As I say, he knew what he was going to be up against when he fights someone like Kieran Thomas, and how do you think he'll assess it?
Yeah, I think they fought before. I think Andy's definitely come on in the later rounds. I think in the first fight he did well as well. I thought he definitely hurt Kieran more than I think this fight, but I think his work's been a lot better. His variation, his tempo's changed. He seemed to be a bit one-paced, whereas Andy's tonight he's gone through the gears, showed the different paces, and it's good to see that from him. So he's obviously working on it.
Yeah, that one goes the distance. I imagine that'll be another 40 points to 36 win.
Yeah, definitely.
I said those who are joining in to watch Andy Owen, he'll be joined by Dan Moore very shortly.
Well done, Bigan. Andy, congratulations. Another fight against Kieran Thomas, another fight he thinks, but a much better performance in my opinion. Yeah. How did you find it?
Yeah, Richie just told me to stick to my boxing this time. In my last fight I went for a bit too much and I looked scrappy, but Richie said sit behind your jab and everything works off it then. It paid off, to be fair. I was well happy.
Yeah, I thought it was a much more composed performance. Kieran's a tough guy, but when you've got the fitness on him, you can dictate the pace of the fight, and you absolutely did that tonight.
Thank you very much. Yeah, he's a very tough kid. He's clever as well in there. He'll hold you around the back of the head. He's clever. But then with the fights you need to learn, so I'm happy with my performance and looking forward to get out again.
I'd imagine you're happy to be here as well, because the rest of Wolverhampton Boxing Club always seem to be here, and now you've made your debut at the Hangar. Great venue.
Yeah, I missed out last time obviously because I won Kieran and then I done my MCL in my knee, so I was out for 6 weeks. So this is my home venue really, because I'm a Wolverhampton lad through and through, so it's an absolute buzz for me coming out here.
And your best performance today. Well done, Andy.
This fight sees Vicky Wilkinson in with Bianna Libidzowski. Bianna, who entered the ring to the Fugees, whose gig tonight was cancelled as the O2 Arena's roof has decided to give way. That's the most topical link I can give to you this evening. Great arena, the O2, but whoever decided to make the roof out of canvas really wasn't thinking. But so Vicky Wilkinson, who's a really interesting story. You know, she made her professional debut back in October at the age of 38. She's got significant amateur experience, twice winning national titles for the English Development Championship in the under -10 belts and over 10 sections respectively. She's fighting in at lightweight. She overcame a scare to beat the left-hander Becky Ferguson, winning 39-37. And in the corner sees Tony Marshall, followed into the pro career after coaching her, should I say, as an amateur at Darlaston Boxing Club. She's also representing the Lions gym in Dudley. A former kickboxer, resident of Osbourne. Has drifted in and out of boxing during her amateur career. She's finished with 16 victories and 22 bouts. And works full time as a military recruiter. Very tough woman, and has decided to turn professional at a late age in terms of boxing. And as I say, this fight will be over 2-minute rounds, which is the standard for women's boxing. What do you think, Ryan, about the format of the 2-minute rounds? It certainly means you've got to get your work in a lot quicker. I know there's certain female fighters like Amanda Serrano who are hoping to switch up to 3-minute rounds sooner rather than later. Do you think that's something that could happen, or do you think it helps being almost like a separate sport with it being the faster action of the 2 minutes?
Yeah, I think it should happen. I mean, some of the women, you know, they're as fit as the blokes, so there's no reason why, if that's what they want, or if they want the twos, I think, you know, it's up to them. But predominantly they all want the threes, and that's their choice, and I think that's something the board should definitely look at and bring forward.
Yeah, I think women's boxing has seen such a massive, I say resurgence, it's not really a resurgence, it's seen a huge growth, backed from the likes of Katie Taylor and so many others that have come on since. I've seen Natasha Jonas in action tomorrow night, and we've had plenty of women's boxing on these shows, and as I say, the rounds do fly by.
Yeah.
And you've got to get your work in early, don't you, for the referees scoring or for the judges scoring ringside.
Yeah, the most can relate is back to the amateurs, and 2 minutes before you know it's gone.
As I say, Vicky, a former kickboxer, and Ryan, we're starting to see quite a few ex-kickboxers, both male and female, making their transition into the sport of boxing. Did you ever give your hand at anything else, or has it always been boxing for yourself?
Yeah, it's mainly been boxing. I had a go at it when I was a kid, just knocking about, I tried it a little bit of kickboxing that, but no, I went off it fairly because it was just a bit of a fad, really. And yeah, it's mainly been the boxing, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of boxers who have formerly done kickboxing. Troy Coleman, you've got JJ Thompson, who's now turned over as well. Brad Foster up there, I think he was a kickboxer.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of kickboxers who've come into it. Rachel Ball, another big name. Katie Healy as well.
Yeah, I was just going to mention those two, obviously working out of Gavin Burrows' Trojan Gym. Gavin was in the corner of Kieran Thomas earlier. And again, great to see those guys out again, but good to see Rachel back in as soon as possible, and Katie make a really good start to her career. For those joining the stream late, Vicky is in the green shorts with the black detailing, and opponent tonight, Bianna, in the black shorts with the gold detailing.
think at the minute it's a bit scrappy, but Vicky's getting the better shots off.
Yeah, she has been a bit scrappy. If anything, Vicky, she's finding herself quite square on. Again, I think she's probably trying to load up those shots and needs to give herself a little bit more room, as Bianna is managing to tie her up when they're getting close.
Yeah, I think Bianna's walking in quite square, bit reckless. I think that's pulling Vicky into that mindset as well.
Yeah, lead right hand there falls short and she just gets tied up again on the inside. You want to see her leading with that jab a little more, don't we? Again, she's leading with that right hand, and it was effective there, and she lands a good couple of punches.
Yeah, it's been mainly the ups that have landed. I'd definitely like to see the jab a bit more.
Yeah, just setting up those shots. Welcome guys who are watching on YouTube as well as on the Facebook page. I've seen plenty of comments in from guys looking forward to seeing the Kundalini King, Jermaine Osbourne Edwards later on. So thank you for all joining. As I say, pop in your comments. Sophie Whitty cheering Vicky on. Vicky leaning with that right hand, landed well at the end of the previous round, but again she's just got to take her time, hasn't she? She's just got to work away in there a little bit more and not look for that one single shot.
Yeah, I think he needs that step back, reset, get behind the jab and work from there and set up something from there and then put a second phase in after that. Better work from Bianna.
Fighting in a phone box style in the corner there, neither girl giving themselves much distance or any sort of space.
Yeah, it's been head to head, isn't it?
Yeah, referee warning them both for the heads coming in there. I don't think there's nothing intentional about it, it's just when they were fighting in so close. Bianna just tying her up there inside, holding on to Vicky's left arm. But there, when that's happening, it's about working your way out of it, isn't it? You haven't got the referee isn't always going to break you apart.
Yeah. A lot of refs like to work the way out. Others tend to break it up, but it depends again.
Final round of this one, as I say, scheduled for 4. Wilkinson coming out with a couple of decent right hands and is immediately tied up there. At times it's resembled a little bit more of a wrestling match than a boxing match, but that's what can happen sometimes if the styles don't quite gel.
Yeah, straight back in the pocket together.
And Vicky switching there a little bit, going from southpaw back into the orthodox, just giving herself a little bit of a different angle. Better there from Vicky again, giving herself the distance, but Bianna just sort of lunging a little bit, and she's making it difficult in there. And Vicky just missing with that right hand just over the top again. Bianna holding her head very low, looking to duck in at every opportunity. And that's better work there from Wilkinson.
Yeah, I think Vicky's doing what she can in that pocket.
Yeah, both girls exerting an awful lot of energy in this one. As I say, Vicky again just leading with that right hand again. You know she's got that amateur experience, so she can lead herself in, but
yeah, she can definitely do it.
It's been drawn into a little bit of a brawl rather than a boxing match tonight.
I think this could be closer than we think.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how the referee has this one. I think Vicky certainly landed the more eye-catching shots.
Yeah, definitely.
But another good competitive fight. Wilkinson takes the win. Fans seem pretty happy with that one. But the next fight is one that I'm really looking forward to. The professional debut of Ryan Cottrell. We'll talk a little bit about Ryan in a moment. Vicky will be joining us shortly. She's just getting the pictures taken in the ring. She'll be joining Dan very shortly.
Well done. Vicky, congratulations, 2-0 against a teak tough opponent. How do you feel?
Good. Glad that one's out of the way. First one of the year. I've got another one coming up in 2 weeks against Becky Ferguson again.
Okay, so you get to do it with the firebomb. So you've been there before. You must be pleased with the way you've put away a really experienced Polish girl who's as tough as they come.
Yeah, she's tough. I hit her with some good shots, but she's still there. But she holds really well, and I'm not used to getting out of them holds.
Different game to the amateurs. You're very experienced in the amateurs. You're working your way in the pros, and the fact that you're out again in a couple of weeks, you must be pleased with, because it just keeps you busy at a time when you need to be busy.
Yeah, women need more fights and more shows, and I'm just glad I'll have them week after week. As long as I'm not injured, I'll go.
And your first time at Hangar, quite a venue.
It's a brilliant venue, absolutely brilliant. With the lights walking down your name is amazing.
Vicky, well done tonight.
Dave Preston making his way to the ring, in with Ryan Cottrell, who will follow very shortly. Professional debut of Ryan Cottrell, had a very successful amateur career. So Ryan, a very successful amateur, 21 bouts, 17 wins, all under the tutelage of Richard Carter, who will take him on as a professional. And that journey from Wolverhampton Boxing Club is still their training base, along with the rest of Carter's stable. He's a big lad, isn't he, Ryan Cottrell, 6'2", boxing at cruiser.
Yeah.
And a lot to be expected in this evening. He's in with a man in Dave Preston, who he's had a tricky start to his professional career, hasn't he? 3 fights, 3 defeats, and I think that Ryan will be looking to get that stoppage this evening.
Yeah, I think he will be stoppage as well. Looking for the stoppage also.
As I said, Ryan went all the way at the 2016 Development Championships and the 28 National Association competition. I mean, 2 national titles, and he was part of that Team England elite squad. Obviously the pandemic, I mean, a lot of amateurs found, didn't they, Ryan? I think the pandemic changed plans, some fighters turning pro earlier than they thought because those competitions that they were looking forward to not happening, and it's definitely changed, as I say, plans for pros and amateurs alike.
Yeah, particularly for me as well. I mean, I turned over just before, I think it was just before the lockdown, and it completely took the steam out of everything, you know, we had planned. But I think that time that we had, I think for everybody who had the extra time, it's done nothing but benefit everybody, especially me.
So Dave Preston fighting in the blue shorts, with Ryan Cottrell in the black shorts with red trim. As I say, I think for Preston, with having those difficult stoppage defeats, again, he's probably just thinking about getting through this opening round and then building on it.
Yeah, I think he needs to establish his jab and keep Ryan at bay. Ryan's come out well, looking powerful.
Again, Ryan with that switch hitting style, turned southpaw for a moment, landing a decent right hand.
I'd start Ryan down, look for the knockout too much. I just think he needs to box and that'll come.
Ryan working a very physical job as a ground worker on his His wife outside of the ring. So he still manages to train twice a day, and it's a lot of the guys on this circuit, I know yourself included, everyone that's working those full-time jobs and trying to fit the boxing around. Not an easy task.
Yeah, it ain't easy, particularly like, you know, when you get to a level where you've got to adapt work around the training. I mean, for 4 rounders up to, you know, 6, you can probably get away with working, still train twice a day. But once you get to, you know, a million total, that's when you've got to be looking to do it properly. I think Jimmy, who's on later tonight, I think he's full time now, so he's got the perfect way of doing it, and I think that'll help him excel quicker.
Yeah, good start from Cottrell, landing some hurtful looking shots to the body. And so Preston defending well upstairs. Again, he's been in with a good level of opposition, as I say, 3 fights, 3 losses, but he's been in with some decent prospects. And as we talked earlier off the air, at this weight class and the weight class above, it's very difficult being the away corner. You're in with such big heavy punches, and Ryan landing with some decent leather early on. An uppercut inside, just missing. As I say, he seemed to have a little bit more success when he switches to that southpaw stance.
Yeah, I don't think Preston likes to switch.
Yeah, Preston doing well, just holding on there. By himself, but it's on there. Left hand drops him on the bell, just after the bell.
Yeah, I don't think he's on the last one, to be fair.
And he's just looked at his corner and he's just waved away. I'm not sure he's going to be okay to continue. I think the doctor's gone in the ring. And he's just had a word with his corner. But
he's going to carry on.
Yeah, looks like he will be continuing. No, that's it. Fight's been waved off. That big left hand, I think it was, a very difficult to see from our angle, has ended that one. Preston felt he was in a position and able to continue. Again, took the seat, and that was all she wrote. Difficult, Ryan. You know, not looking to criticise at all, because it was a decent punch, but it's difficult for someone like Preston now, who's had 4 fights, 4 defeats, all coming by the way of stoppage.
Yeah, I think he just seemed to felt the power and just give up, to be honest. I think Ryan landed bigger shots, you know. I don't think it was one of the hardest ones he hit him with.
He was right on the bell. There was a little bit of moment of confusion with the referee. I wasn't sure how he was going to rule that, but it looked to probably be just in time. But
yeah, quite a funny one, really.
But makes his professional debut with the first round stoppage. I suppose that's the perfect start to a professional career.
Yeah. Richie Carter looking happy as he comes back over.
Yeah, he's got to be pleased with that, as I say, first round stoppage win. Just watching the knockdown. Right to the body. It was that right hook to the body after a good flurry of punches. And as I say, just watching the replay back, and he immediately looked to his corner and said that was enough.
Yeah, I think that'll be the end of Preston now.
So yeah, a good right hand there from Ryan. Just waiting to be joined by Ryan, who's currently being mobbed by his fans on the other side of the venue. Ryan, finally got you there. You've been mobbed by all your fans. A first round knockout. I don't think it gets any better than that for a professional debut.
Nah, man, I'm just absolutely ecstatic now. I'm here to knock people out, and that's what I want to do. I want to keep that 100% knockout ratio, 1 rounders, man. I'm on it.
Now, you had a fantastic amateur career. Obviously, you had the pandemic, which got in the way of things you wanted to be able to do. But now, as a professional, you've got to set your sights high. What are you looking to get out next?
As soon as possible, you know what I mean. I'm staying in the gym, staying on shape. Like, I've had a bit of time off and that due to personal reasons, but I'm back, and do you know what? That little break has really made me realise how much I've missed boxing and how much I need it in my life, so I'm here to stay.
Now, watching the commentary, it was almost difficult to see which of those punches was the one that put him away, but if you're watching the replay back, it was a lovely right hook to the body. You must be tough throwing a punch as well as that.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean, it don't get no better than that, so I'm just buzzing, man. I just want to say a big shout out to all my coaches and everyone, and to my lovely girlfriend Sophia Clark, who's looked after me through thick and thin, you know what I mean, got me back in that ring, so I love ya.
Right, congratulations, get back to celebrating with your fans. Well, I used to say I don't have to put the effort in. I had to fight through a crowd of people to get Ryan in for that interview. Obviously a very popular fighter, and they all enjoyed that one. First round stoppage, but back to the action in the ring. Matthew Craddock taking on Steve McGuire. This one over 6 rounds. As I say, this is our penultimate fight of the evening, the big main event. Jermaine Osbourne Edwards, Fonz Alexander coming up shortly. Now, Matt Craddock, who fights in the bantamweight division, and as I say, stepping up now as a 6-round fighter. So a packed division like Sir Charlie Edwards, Lee McGregor and Paul Butler, to name a few, where they reside, and again, there will be opportunities if we can keep him winning. Obviously Liam Davis as well in the BCB ranks, English champion, and if Liam does vacate that belt to move on to bigger things, then that could well be a fight for Craddock. Again, another ground worker by day, 31 years of age, from Birmingham, called Kings Norton in Birmingham, and he's 3rd year as a pro now after again another good amateur run, fighting out of the old Ironworks ABC. And again, we saw him beat Jack Pollard and Luke Fash in his previous 2 fights, before taking on that 6-rounder fighting against Jack Bates. And Jack, who was a Sky scholar a few years ago and has gone on to have a good professional career, who beat him 60 points to 52. Craddock bounced back with that. Beat Richard Starkey. And another wins over Stephen Robinson. So he's had a busy early start to his career. And he said he took that step up and it didn't quite pay off, but there will be more opportunities for him. And Ryan, what do you think is the biggest adjustment when you're going from 4 to 6 rounds? And again, he's done it before, but the pacing of the fight is very different. It's a 3rd longer.
Yeah, I think the 6 rounds is a lot. I think you've got to be a bit more. It's more strategic. You start to slow the pace down slightly. Look what you're doing. You can evaluate what's happening a bit better. I think personally myself, I'd like suit the 6 round. I think a lot of other fighters would. I think you've got that time, whereas the 4 are still in doubt whether it's quite long enough. I think the 6 rounds are where you start to. I think the 6 rounds you start to get comfortable, and like I say, you've just got that more time.
it's that last sort of gap, isn't there, between that and stepping up to the 10-round championship fights. There aren't so many 8-rounders now. We do see people more going from 6 to 10.
Yeah, it's more of that jump. I think Matty started well, to be fair. He's boxed well beyond the jab. Again, because it's a 6th round, I think you've got to establish that jab and use it.
So Stephen McGuire, plenty of experience, only the one win on his ledger, 23 defeats and 1 draw. But that win did come fairly recently, beating the debutant Fazan Shahid in a fight that he dominated back in the summer of last year. And he's already got 2 more fights scheduled in, so again, one of the big plethora of away fighters, or journeymen as they're known, fighting out of Middleton in Lancashire.
Again, Matty coming that jab, good lefty.
Takes the count from the left hand. Referee Sean Messer giving him that standing 8.
I couldn't see it now. I think it was a triple jab and then step back, rear line and bang.
And let's see now if he can step it up and put him away. I mean, it wasn't, I know it's the most action-packed opener, but there was obviously a sort of class difference between the two. Another good left hook to the body.
Yeah, I think Matty's definitely looking a lot more seasoned. You could tell. Yeah, you can tell he's been there before.
Yeah, those left hands certainly causing damage.
He's throwing the fast throws and then drop one into the body as well, which is good.
Yeah, chased him across the ring now, and again landing solid punches as he does.
I think McGuire's starting to run out of options.
Yeah, he's clapping his hands together and trying to sort of G himself up a little bit here, but he's walking in very straight lines, isn't he? And he's getting picked off at every turn.
Yeah, I think Matty just needs to carry on what he's doing. I think he'll probably get him out. But again, like you say, these journeymen,
they know how to. A lot of them know how to survive, don't they? And they've been hurt and dropped before.
Yeah, they ain't daft. They're very clever.
Yeah, and again he comes back there, McGuire, with a couple of good punches, but he gets rocked back on the ropes, and he's probably going to think now about how to see this round out and get that breather and regroup a little bit. It's been a dominant round so far for Craddock. Left hook to the body again.
Yeah, that's been a key punch for him in this fight. Since the start, he's been landing that comfortably.
He's pushed back though, to be fair there, by McGuire, but again nothing really clean landed, but he just sort of got him on his heels a little bit.
Yeah, that's the thing, they seem to, as tough as they are, they can turn it on when they have to, and that's what's dangerous about the journeyman. A lot of people don't realise how dangerous they actually are. The records don't speak for what they can do.
And if you get them on the wrong night or the right night for them, they're certainly very capable of pulling off the win.
Yeah.
McGuire has been stopped 6 times, including that stoppage against Bradley Thompson on his professional debut, when McGuire was dropped in the first round and then stopped in the 4th, as well as being stopped by the unbeaten Brad Strand. He's been with some good names and with some talented fighters. So head to the 3rd round of this one. Again, a 10-8 round in the previous. And there's another
left up to the body.
They just look so hurtful, don't they?
dead accurate every time as well. Same place. You can see where his ribs are starting to get a bit red.
Yeah, definitely a bit of reddening on the right hand side of McGuire, and he's just not been quite able to tuck his elbow down, has he? Because the shots are coming so far around the side, he's just not been able to block them really in any way. But he comes forward, and he's certainly giving it a go, and he's little
nice
left hand there.
Yeah.
Give him a little bit of confidence, and again with another left hand.
Proper cheeky that was.
Yeah, and this is where Craddock's got to be sensible, got to pick his punches, and not walk onto anything silly. Wow, I certainly wasn't expecting that. The left hand drops Matthew Craddock, and we were just saying, Andy, he's walked onto a couple of punches and he's just been caught there.
Yeah, another cheeky left hand that actually knocked him down.
Oh, and another good left hand there, and a straight right comes through. And both men trading shots, but at the minute the better punches are coming from McGuire.
Nice shot to the body there from McGuire as well.
Good variety in the punch there, mixing that straight left hand down to the body. No, this is a serious test. This is now for Craddock. Now he's been dropped before.
Yeah, so at one point we were saying, he's looking to get him out, and now all of a sudden it's flipped. And McGuire's turned it on, and now we're saying,
and another right hand again, very close to a knockdown there as Craddock's hand almost touched the canvas. Both men trading shots in the middle of the ring. Really good fight, this one. And you can just sense that McGuire's confidence is growing every second.
Yeah.
And Craddock comes back with a good right hand to the body. And
another good shot to the body.
Yeah, good left hand.
He dropped his elbow, I think.
That was the punch that was being so effective earlier in the fight, and it's kind of backed McGuire off a little bit. And that straight, another two straight left hands. Those look like hurtful punches, Ryan.
Yeah.
Right, the clappers are in for the last few seconds of this one. It will go down as a 10-8 round to Steve McGuire. Well, we weren't expecting that.
No, definitely not.
Fourth round of this one for those joining the stream a little bit late. Craddock had McGuire down in that second round. But McGuire came back to drop Craddock in the third. This one's scheduled for 6, so still plenty to play for. D-Page in the YouTube comments, I think, saying, "Oh wow," pretty much our reaction as well ringside in that knockdown in the third. And let's see how this one goes. Again, Craddock. It's just what we've got to evade that left hand. That seems to be McGuire's main punch, isn't it? That straight left. Craddock landing those shots to the body, and it's a case of which style will prevail as this one carries on. As I say, 3 rounds to go.
I think McGuire is starting to have a try a bit now. He's starting to fall in a bit.
Yeah, the things that were working for him in the previous round, as I say, he is forcing the action a little bit now. And Craddock fighting a lot more conventionally, sitting with that tighter guard, and then dropping the left hook to the body when the opening is there. There's certainly a little bit less pop in those punches now, isn't there? Again a count, but just a push. Again, a bit of a wild left hand, wasn't it? Whenever you see anyone lead off with a big power punch, it looks great when it lands, but it takes a lot of energy out of you when it misses.
Yeah, nothing worse.
But again, good work from McGuire. Another couple of good punches through, and he eats a big right hand in return.
Matty comes back.
Real ebb and flow to this one. Again, McGuire just has him backed on the ropes there, but takes a big left hand in return. It just seems whenever one guy gets a little bit of momentum that it just changes, and very even round so far.
Another good couple of shots there by Steve. Good shots there by Matty as well.
Yeah, good punches there from Craddock.
I just think he needs to come out a little bit tighter for me. He's throwing them, loosing them good shots off, and then he's keeping his head up in the air. I think he needs to get his guard up and sleep and move.
It's when he's stepping back, isn't it? That's when he's walking onto that left hand, when he's
just getting caught as he's coming out.
Yeah. Just give more angle. That's something he can certainly work on. He's just got to get through this one first. Good little flurry of shots there again. Yeah. Point scoring shots, aren't they? They're the kind of shots that the referee will remember. See referee Sean Messer scoring this one. Fifth round of this one, scheduled for 6. Our main event coming up very shortly. Jermaine, Osbourne, Edwards in with Fonz, Alexander. Looking forward to seeing that one. But we've still got a couple of rounds this one to go yet, and it's been a much more interesting fight than I think many thought before. Both men been down, both getting the shots off. I think you probably have to say that Craddock is ahead, taking that first round and the fourth, but
Messer having a moan about something now.
Yeah, he does like a telling off, our Sean, and as we always try and guess commentating, I'm never quite sure quite what it is. He gives a lot of gestures and I'm not quite sure what they mean, but as long as the fighters understand, that's the main thing. And good work again from McGuire there.
Solid work from McGuire. He keeps following it up as well, keeps coming and coming.
He takes a right hand in return, but he started the round well, and again
another good cheeky
punches.
shot over the top.
And this is where the fight needs to be for Craddock, doesn't it? Holding the middle of the ring, not getting pushed back, but McGuire is certainly having his successes in this round. Takes a right hand there though, and he's really kind of swarming Craddock. I think that's probably the right word to use. Not everything's landing, but his punch output's so high that Craddock's having to kind of be a bit more cautious of what he's throwing in return. Good start to the round from McGuire.
Yeah, I think that's what he needs to do. When he threw a couple of feints, I think that's what might need a bit more of. I think Steve's cottoned onto the left hook to the body and the double jab.
Yeah, needs to see a bit more variety, don't we? But
yeah.
Okay, that's better. On the step back with that right hand again. McGuire still coming. And again, a couple of good punches land clean there. He's leaving his chin up in the air a little bit, isn't he, Craddock?
Yeah, I think McGuire's doing the better work this round. Craddock seems to be crowding it slightly.
Good foot movement there from McGuire, but again Craddock pressing the action. But missed with that left hand. McGuire's flicking that jab out nicely, not necessarily landing all the time, but he's forcing Craddock to move off his line. A little bit sloppier in there now. Again, there's Craddock's onto another left hand. Another good competitive round. How did you see that one, Ron?
I've got to say, I said about halfway through, I still think that was McGuire's round for me. I think he had the more catching shots. Yeah, another close round.
Yep. Certainly all to play for. I think for those that are scoring it at home, let us know in the comments how you see it.
Messing around in again about something there.
Again, not sure what it is, and we will never know. Final round of this one. Again, that looks the clash of heads that brought the two together there. That looked a heavy one. And again, I think the gum shield understandably came out there. That looked a real blow.
Yeah,
Unintentional blow. I mean, again, that's the styles, isn't it? That's what can happen. Both men obviously been fighting so far, so much in close. And depending how Sean's seeing it, this could be a really crucial round for both. Good shot there from Craddock, digging that left hand into the body.
That was a good shot. Better from Craddock this round. Seems to have had a second wind.
Yeah.
McGuire still pushing.
Yeah, landed that another left hand inside there. Definitely the cleaner work, forcing McGuire back and really upping the punch volume. The minute McGuire hasn't got anything to struggling to put anything back towards him. And Craddock with a nice little right hand over the top there, really smart little punch. And again, good body work inside from Craddock.
A good counter jabs is coming in as well.
McGuire was ducking and diving, but not throwing an awful lot. Missing wildly there, Craddock with that big right hand, throwing that haymaker shot. And that one much better punch, straight right hand, made it through. It's a lot less of power on those shots, isn't there now from McGuire than there was in the earlier rounds, and Craddock's going backed up against the ropes.
Much better round for Matty this.
I was going to say, as Craddock just pushes him up against the ropes there. I think the referee will see the fight too. Craddock, as I say, won that first. And he's closing the fight well. Just not giving Steve any room, is he? Any time? showing his fitness and his endurance. And that fight goes the distance. A much tougher test than Matthew Craddock than he probably imagined. As I say, dropped in the third round after putting Steve McGuire down in the second. Be interesting to see exactly how the referees got the score this one. But I think we're both in agreement, Ryan, that it's going to be a Craddock victory.
Yeah, I think Craddock's got it. But to be fair, I can't, the guy's work. It was good.
Well, we await the scorecard as MC Ricky Wright will be announcing that very shortly.
I think it could still be close. I think that last round Matty just edged it. And he had that good, I think it was the second. Was it the second?
Yeah, dropped him in the second. Craddock takes it 58-55, which means if my maths is right, I think apart from the knockdown, he's giving Craddock the rest of the rounds. I think with one round shared. I need to get my calculator out now, but I think that sounds about right.
Yeah.
But I mean, a real stern test there from Craddock, not one that I think he was expecting. And fair play to Steve McGuire, as I say, just the one professional victory on Steve McGuire's ledger. But he put up a real good test there this evening.
Yeah, I did expect it a bit closer, to be honest.
Fight that really ebbed and flowed. It was an epic battle and you've come out on top. You must be pleased.
I am pleased, yeah. Not completely pleased with my performance. I weren't at my best tonight, but still got the job done.
But in terms of a fan-friendly fight, you give your fans who've come all the way from Birmingham here to Wolverhampton a great show, and everybody watched on the stream. I know that's not what you want, but it was great entertainment.
I want to be in entertaining fights, no matter what. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone pays their hard-earned money to come see it. I'm not the most technical, skillful boxer, so I'm always going to show that, because I will get caught and I will catch up people, and I hope it's what the fans like. It's exciting.
You had Stevie McGuire down in the second. You looked in complete control at that point, and then all of a sudden you find yourself on the seat of your pants in the third. What went through your mind at that point?
Got caught with a good shot, get back up, don't get caught again, and keep going.
And you didn't get caught again, so both yourself and Spencer McCracken Jr. must be pleased with the way that you composed yourself and got back onto the job.
You might say that, but then he'll be pissed off that I got caught in the first place, so I doubt he'll be pleased. But yeah, we got the result, and that's all that matters.
And a word for your fans. They've come all the way from Birmingham St Andrews into Wolverhampton and cheered you on to victory.
Thank you everyone so much. Like, it means the world to me. All of you at home watching and everyone that's made the trip today, really means the world to me. I wouldn't be able to do this if I weren't selling tickets, putting seats on bums.
Swiggy, well done tonight from everyone at BCB, top man.
event time at the Hangar event centre in Wolverhampton. Fonz Alexander making his way to the ring now for his 127th professional fight. Incredible amount of fights and experience from Fonz. He's in there with Jermaine, Osbourne, Edwards. You'll enjoy this ring walk. He's a huge character, Jermaine, walking to the ring. Goes by the name of the Cottrell King. We'll let you enjoy this one. atmosphere in the Hangar Event Centre in Wolverhampton. Huge ovation for Jermaine Osbourne Edwards. Safe to say this won't face Fonz Alexander, will it, one bit, Ryan?
As a concern, but Jimmy, you know, I think Jimmy's calm, he's collected, but Fonz ain't daft. He's been here before, you know, Owen Cooper, Troy Cott, he's been in with some top lads. There are just a few that I know. I mean, I imagine there's loads more.
As I say, Jermaine was last out at the same venue, picking up that first round stoppage. And he said this time that his camp has been brilliant, but he has had a difficult week personally. As I say, which I think there was a tribute as the kids were walking to the ring with him.
Yeah, I did see that.
After
I'm quite sure what it was about.
Yeah, after losing his grandmother this week. So I know there'll be a lot of emotion in this one in his corner and himself, but
yeah, I never knew that.
So it's 32 years old, as I say, still a relative novice in terms of boxing terms. He didn't really have that amateur background, but he's got a huge amount of support.
Yeah, Jimmy does well in tickets. He's well established in
And I think so often in boxing you do get the cliche story of the kid from the sort of the wrong side of the tracks, as it were. And I think Jermaine, he's been very open and talks about how boxing has given him a real focus in his life after getting in a little bit of trouble in his slightly younger days. And it's great to see how he has sort of turned himself round, and he's a huge character, a big personality. As I say, he goes by the name of the Kundalini King. I think that's his second nickname he's had so far in his professional career. It may not be his last, but he's had a good go. It'll be interesting to see how he adapts to someone as experienced as Fonz.
Yeah, definitely.
So Osbourne Edwards in the black shorts with the dark gold brown trim, fighting out the southpaw stance. Like I say, a very familiar face in Fonz Alexander. As I say, 127th professional fight in the blue shorts. And in that 127 fight, well, 126 fights previous to tonight, I think he's only been stopped 5 times, which is incredible, really, his durability and his defensive prowess. So Jermaine's really going to have to work his way into this one and pick those shots.
Yeah, I think Jimmy's at his best when he's boxing. He can get a bit careless. I spar with Jimmy quite a lot, and he does some good things. I think, you know, again, like I say, he can't rush anything. Jimmy's tactically good. He's clever. He sometimes gets in a bit of a war, but he's good on the inside as well. So I'm just thinking it's to show what he can do without getting carried away with the crowd.
Yeah, another one from the Richie Carter gym.
Yeah, he's got quite a big stable coming together. Richie has. He seems to be on it though.
Yeah, certainly a growing stable in the city of Wolverhampton.
Yeah, he's well established in Wolverhampton again.
Good left hand there from Jermaine again. He's just popping that jab out, creating the distance. Well, we talked about in the earlier fights sometimes where the fighters weren't doing that. He is holding the distance, and I was going to say Fonz's offensive output can vary a lot. Certain nights I've seen him, he's really gone for it, and others he's been a little bit more cautious.
Yeah,
his movement's been quite sharp so far.
Yeah, it's a slower start that I've seen from Fonz in previous fights of his.
Good left hand there from Jermaine again. He's just keeping quite a nice tight guard and just looking for those openings.
Distance, yeah.
Jermaine just popping that jab out, just falling a little bit short. And again, as often you can get with a southpaw or orthodox, I think their feet getting a little bit tangled. It's good defensive work from Jermaine, missing it, stepping back well from a slightly wild uppercut there from Fonz.
A good shot to the body there from Fonz as well.
Good
Nice
uppercut there.
uppercut, yeah. And again.
No, certainly let Alexander know he's in there. And then Fonz with a flurry of punches, and again Jermaine's he's picking his shots quite nicely so far.
Yeah, it's a good round for Jimmy, that was.
Yeah, solid opening round of this one, so scheduled for 4. Apologies to anybody at home who's getting a slightly blocked view of the ring. We are working on it. Jermaine's fans obviously want to get as close as they can to the action, but it is causing a little bit of an obstruction. So the second round of this one, our main event. Jermaine Osbourne Edwards with a good opener, landed a couple of nice shots.
Good shot in Sala practice from Jimmy. Fonz don't seem to be gaining 20 with him. To be fair.
Man, it's unlike him, isn't it? Again, like myself,
Yeah.
you've seen him in a few times, and he hasn't really landed anything so far. But we've got to credit Jermaine a little bit for making that distance and those angles.
Yeah.
And his footwork is something I definitely think that's improving fight to fight.
Yeah, it was something at the start with Jimmy when I was sparring with him. His footwork was a bit all over the shop.
Simple, wasn't it? Really,
yeah.
you know, not using those angles
and particularly because it's been a while since I last sparred with him. I seen that change that him read into his game, and that was one of the things I noticed. He's making more angles, slipping better, staying better at distance as well, instead of just inside and roughing it up.
Now Fonz defensively is certainly looking for that left hand now, and he's covering that side of his body quite well. I think it might be worth Jermaine looking to switch up to that right hand and try and get that jab landing a little bit more.
Yeah, I think he needs to try the jab a bit more.
Left uppercut falling a little bit short there again. Fonz just keep that nice tight guard, his chin so close into his chest. He lands a couple of shots to the body, but not coming off the elbows more than anything, weren't they there, Ryan?
No, it's a bit. That's more like the Fonz that we've saw before. Actually throwing in.
I think this is the position though, doesn't it, when Jermaine's got him there, that you've got to work when you've got him against the ropes.
Yeah.
And don't sort of let him out so easily. A huge amount of pop on those punches. And Fonz with a big left hand that misses, but it's good straight left hand there from Jermaine. The crowd enjoyed that one. Left hook to the body and cuts him with a couple of left hands there. Fonz drops his gloves. Both men showing each other a little bit of respect at the end of that one. steady start from both to the round. Jermaine just flicking out that jab. Looking for that left hook to the body, but Fonz's defence is so tight. And again, he's showing a good amount of patience, not looking to rush his work. And again, it's going to be difficult to not get frustrated in there because he's throwing the right punches, but Fonz's head movement's just so good. He's not walking onto too many.
I spoke to the body from Fonz there.
Well, he's got to do that, hasn't he, every so often, Fonz. He's just got to give Jermaine something to think about.
Yeah.
And when he throws those body shots, there's good power to them, and he just backs Jermaine up there with a little uppercut. Difficult shot to throw against the southpaw, isn't it, really, that left uppercut?
Yeah, it is.
Normally the straight right is the most obvious choice to go for, but Fonz mixing his punches up. And the little pot shot there to the body, and then scoring punches. Both went out. I think Jermaine, I don't know if it was a clash of heads there. It's hard to see from our vantage point. I think that just troubled Jermaine a little bit. But nothing seems to be too problematic there as he gets back into his rhythm. He lands a good left hand there. And another one, I think he's woke Fonz up a little bit.
Yeah, his first bit of aggression we saw Fonz, weren't it, really?
He reacts when he gets hurt or when he gets caught with a good shot. He always knows.
A little smile off him then as well.
Another good left hand there. The counter shots have been working well, haven't they? I think that's the only thing that Fonz may climb up a little bit if he's getting caught quite so easily. Another good straight left hand. A little bit reckless is the wrong word, I suppose, from Fonz, but he was finding himself caught a little bit square on then and took a couple of those straight left hands. Final round already of this one, our main event. Jermaine Osbourne Edwards, who's looked impressive so far against a very, very tricky opponent. And Fonz Alexander, and his 127th professional bout. And he says he's only been stopped a handful of times in all those fights. Final round of this one. It's been 3 rounds to zip so far for Jermaine. Let's see if he can finish the fight strongly, Ray.
Hopefully he'll start going through the gears a bit now, Jimmy. Start putting a bit of pressure on to Fonz.
Because again, so much of boxing is keeping your fan base coming back for more, and if he can just show I think he took a little bit of a right hand inside there.
Yeah, I think you've got to keep that excitement. Just keep the fans where you want to.
Yeah, wanting to come back for more. He's not quite got into his rhythm as yet, has he, in this fourth? Work again there from Fonz, coming back that right hand. Jermaine possibly looking a little bit tired in there. Fonz blocks that shot well to the body. This is where you've got to work, hasn't he, Jermaine? When he gets him in that position, he's got to be busier. And again, it's referee calls a timeout. Yeah. Calls the two together. Again, it's not been a dirty fight by any means, has it? There's just been a bit of the awkwardness with the clashes.
Yeah.
And
there's definitely blood from the origin.
Yeah, I think it has bothered him a little bit. And both men now trading shots.
That's more like the Fonz I've saw before. Again, like we said, they can just turn it on whenever they want. You just got to.
Both really going for it now.
Yeah, you just got to keep them at bay.
And it does look again from our vantage point, it's difficult quite to see the extent of the damage, but with only a few seconds to go, it shouldn't really trouble Jermaine too much. But as the round ekes around this one, and a few seconds left to go. A very different sort of test tonight. This has been from his last professional fight. As I say, that one a first round blowout, and this one he's had to deal with the difficulty of a cut.
I was going to say, he's had to deal with that initial cut that he never had before, so that's going to take a bit out of his sails. I think it's showing, but he's got to, and he's won comfortable energy in his side. Yeah,
I think he's definitely got the win. We'll hopefully be able to catch up with him afterwards. I know sometimes it's a bit difficult if they have had a cut. It's worth a shout out to the cameraman Goal, who managed to deal with a tricky situation, then having to change angles many times to try and get the best of the action. So hopefully the view at home wasn't too obstructed. They are very passionate fans, and the security, I think we're up against it a little bit, trying to get them to sit down, but just as we await the referee's scorecard, as our main event of the evening and night, let's see wins for Ollie Cooper, Bradley Thompson, Andy Owen, Vicky Wilkinson, Ryan Cottrell with that devastating first round stoppage of Dave Preston, Matthew Craddock and Steve McGuire with the fight of the night really. Both men dropped, McGuire in the second round, Craddock in the third, before Craddock took it on points. Jermaine just getting that photo in the ring. So tonight, very much a dedication to his grandmother, who he lost this week. Plenty of respect shown between the two. I think Jermaine knows he's been in with a good test. Takes it 40 points to 36. He moves on to 3-0. Very popular fighter, and it'll be interesting to see when he's next back out.
Yeah, I imagine it'll be fairly soon with Jimmy. You don't have time to wait, especially now he's doing it full time as well.
As I say, we'll hopefully be able to catch up with him shortly.
Jimmy, congratulations. I know it's been a tough week for you. Explain that to the listeners.
Well, I lost my nan about 2 days ago, so I'm dedicating this fight to how she died in front of me, and she told me, Jambum, that's what she calls me, to carry on, and she's proud. So Nan, I hope I made you proud tonight. This fight's for you. It feels like I won a championship belt, but I haven't, but it's for my nan.
I think sometimes there's more important things than belts, and that's family. And you've got a lovely family. You put on a wonderful performance, and it's just been a wonderful night. In terms of the fight, how pleased are you with your performance?
I'm very pleased. I got a bit emotional at the end because it was for my nan, but I'm pleased. I felt like I wanted to pull out, but my inner spirit, my spirituality told me I got to push forward and keep doing it, don't we, baby? Yeah, who am I?
Kundalini King.
Yes, that's who I am.
The Kundalini King, and it was a king's performance in many ways against a teak tough opponent in Fonz Alexander. A very different opponent to what you've seen before. This is a man who knows the ring, he knows what he's doing, he's got real ring craft, he's tough. But tonight, you showed some composure in there.
He says I was one of the toughest opponents, and he says I'm one of the hardest hitters, and that's why he kept coming over to me. He says, mate, do not ever stop. You have got a power punch. He says, mate, it's unbelievable. One of the hardest hitters out of his fights. And I did it today because I got my ancestors, my spirit guides. Okobashakaina, Rakashana, Gunaye. Thank you, give thanks to the Most High in the universe. Also want to thank the governor, aka the gaffer, aka Richie Carter. I'm Richie Carter's boys. Come here, this is my son.
Hello, son.
Come on, this is Cyrus.
And what's your name?
Cyrus.
What did you think of your daddy's performance this evening?
Grab that, baby.
Think he did well?
Yeah, who's your favourite boxer in the world?
My dad.
Good.
Dad. It's a wonderful performance from your dad. You've got a wonderful family. You've got wonderful supporters. A word for those this evening because they was right behind you all the way.
Man, I want to thank all my supporters and my sponsors who helped me in and out of camp. Yeah, I give thanks, and this journey's only just started and it's only just begun. Let me tell you that now, and I'm coming for it all. The BT Sports, the Frank Warren, the lot.
Jimmy, congratulations on a wonderful performance. Congratulations on a lovely family.
God bless.
And commiserations on the loss of your nan.
Give him touch. Give him
Big
all. No, give him all. Yeah.
Top man.
Thank you, man. God bless.
There you go, Paul. Back to you.
Can I have a picture with one of my sponsors, yeah? Just a quick one.
Dan, another brilliant show, plenty of action, lots of knockdowns, stoppages, and that big main event at the end there. What was the highlight for you in that?
All of it, because when we're at the Hangar, there's a special atmosphere. We're creating something special here in Wolverhampton. It's great that we can stream the shows to a worldwide audience to see exactly what we're creating here in Wolverhampton. You've got some great boxers. You saw some great performances this evening. Yeah, the show has got a little bit of everything. There's no title on the line. But yeah, in 4-rounders and 1-6-3s, you've seen everything tonight, Paul. You've seen a stoppage, you've seen knockdowns, you've seen hometown boy getting the decisions. It's been really good.
Now, we were looking forward to seeing Ryan Cottrell make his professional debut, and we talked about the possibilities of him getting that stoppage, and he really did well, didn't he?
Yeah, Ryan the Rampage, Ryan the Bomber, he absolutely doused Dave Preston. Perfect timing. I think Dave was a little bit upset, feeling that it was a shot after the bell. It absolutely wasn't. Perfectly timed, right on that bell at the end of the first round. And Ryan's put in a really good performance. He's heavy-handed. He's a big cruiserweight, and I'm sure he's going to go on to have a wonderful career.
I think a much tougher test for Craddock than he was expecting tonight, obviously, with the fight being got the knockdown in the second, then been put down in the third, but won pretty much every other round, I think, on the scorecards. A very interesting test for him, and he's in a division where there's going to be a lot of opportunities, but he may feel a little bit frustrated with himself for being put down.
Yeah, well, he said that afterwards, and I know Spencer McCracken Jr. will be frustrated, but selfishly, from a stream point of view and an entertainment point of view, that's why we wanted to get Matt Swiggy Craddock on the shows, because what he does do is he offers fans fight-friendly fights. He was in one tonight against Steve Live Wire McGuire. As you say, he knocked McGuire down. It looked at that point he was in complete control, but then he's frail. He's got a little bit of frailty in him, and I think viewers especially will warm to that, because he'll take one to land one. Didn't work out for him in the third round, but fair play to him. He composed himself and won the last three, and he got the victory.
And some straightforward victories for Andy Owen and Vicky Wilkinson again. And Owen, it's a difficult one for him. He's in there with someone like Kieran Thomas, who's so durable, he's so smart, but he's got that fight out of the way now, and I know he'll be looking for more opportunities. Yeah,
absolutely. I think fitness told for Andy Owen this evening against Kieran Thomas. He's really fit, and it showed because he was able to dictate the pace. And when you do that with Kieran Thomas, he does struggle at times. Vicky Wilkinson against a tough Polish opponent got the victory. She's back out against Becky Ferguson. They had a great fight on Vicky's debut, so I'm sure she'll be looking to make it to 3-0 as well.
And just finally, just a quick word on the main event that we saw there, and just Jermaine Osbourne Edwards in general. He's a big character, he's a big personality, he sells a lot of tickets, but it's just about managing him right, isn't it, and getting those right fights in for him. And someone like Fonz Alexander would have given him a hell of a lot of experience this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. And a word for Ollie Cooper as well, who I thought boxed really well at the start of the show. Look, we all love Jimmy. He's a great character. He gives you something that boxers don't always have, and that's personality, that's style, that's a story. You can buy into Jermaine Osbourne Edwards, you can buy into what he's about, where he's come from, what he wants to achieve. You look at this evening, he's had a real tough week. He lost his nan 2 days ago. I've seen boxers pull out. You could see he was emotionally in there tonight, but he was able to control that emotion, and he put on a good performance against Fonz Alexander, who is absolutely no mug. Fonz Alexander will give anybody a tough night, and he gives Jimmy a tough night at times, but Jimmy stayed composed. He kept his emotions in check. He's got a wonderful crowd here. We're building something special alongside Richie Carter and Wolverhampton's Boxing Club, and we want to go on to bigger and better things, and with these guys and the rest of the BCB stable, we absolutely can.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Dan, and thank you to everyone who's been watching at home on Facebook and on YouTube. We really appreciate all the comments and views. Thank you as well to Ryan, my co-commentator for this evening, and we'll be back again at an event soon. Keep tuning into BCB Boxing on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also, Dan, a quick shout out for our weekly podcast that is available wherever you download your podcast from.
Absolutely, Paul, and at least on the podcast you don't look quite as tall as me. And a shout out as well to our sponsors as well: GPW, Jobsworth, Blue Chili, Alliance Scaffolding, RDX, Empire Pro Tape. Without those guys, we just couldn't do what we're doing at the moment. The Village Hotel, Walsall as well, because without those sponsors, we just wouldn't be able to keep putting on these shows, keep putting on these streams. So thanks to everyone who's got behind the journey, not only of the boxers, but selfishly, more importantly for me, BCB as a whole. We're a big stable. We've got 60 odd fighters. We put shows on throughout the country. Our streams are growing in numbers, and we just thank you for your support.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Dan, and we'll be back very soon.